using excuses for why they have her in custody.
Right.
So I've been fighting for the past 4 years of my life, trying to get her out of custody, and they're just trying to go ahead
You
and
live in Kauai?
Well, she did.
I did, and before I moved here.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to move here because housing wasn't working out over there. It's
Yes.
really expensive
Now,
living
the
out
social
there.
worker, honestly, I really on it. Like, I'm a pastor here on the island. I've been here for 22 years. I've had 2 churches on the island. One currently has been since 2018. I was going to rent a room to a young man, called me up off Craigslist. Met him, told him I was a pastor, invited him to our church, the whole thing. He called me a day or 2 later, said I can't do it because I'm still stuck in my lease, but I have a young lady who desperately needs a place. Didn't know the whole story, but brought her to meet me. I started getting to know the whole story. She moved in January. Now it's May. And I called the social worker. I said, okay, so the big part of this whole case is inadequate housing. But the social worker set her up. Every time she'd find a place to live, she'd call because the whole case started.
I wouldn't say set me up. That's
Well,
not-
come on.
that's
You call the landlord. She even told me when I rented to her, she goes, she's going to call and tell me all these horrible things about me, and you're probably not going to want me to stay. And I said, I'm a pastor. There's nothing she
You
can
need a
say.
place now?
No, she's with me
So the
5
thing is,
months.
So the reason why they're holding my child currently right now, they're saying it's due to my unstable housing situation. However, I've had stable housing since 4 months, and they still haven't come check the house. They're still keeping her in custody. We're saying there's no reason for them to still have her because I've had solid, stable housing for the past 4 months of my life since moving here.
When I talked to the social worker finally, because I had called, when I met her, it was like down to the wire. They're trying to close this case. When I first talked to her, when I first talked to her, she said the reason this has dragged on for so long, 2 years of COVID. Okay, so let's just say that's why it's the longest case in history. But I think it's God, and this is why. Because at the 11th hour, I end up with her. I have a 5-bedroom home in Eva Beach. It's huge, on the golf course. We're pastors. I live with one other older 79-year-old lady. My kids are a fireman on the island, number 1 in his class for fire department recently. 25-year-old. I've got a Coast Guard on the island, Hawaiian Coast Guard for Honolulu Coast Guard, and I got a Hawaiian dredging. All straight A students, good, no drugs, no alcohol, solid
What
kids.
church is
It's called the True Vine. You can come anytime. We meet Nanakuli Tracks Beach every Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. You can find me on YouTube, and I will definitely give you my number. Point being is, I've had stable housing. I tried to call her lawyer as well as try to call her social worker and tell her, okay, problem solved. So what else is there? Oh, and the social worker told him, oh, this is the 11th hour. You can't come in at the 11th hour. This case is over. We're ready to close this down and adopt this kid out. Unless you know somebody who's going to adopt this kid,